Hi, this is Jody from Poppywinkle, and I'm working on a scrapbook. My stepmother has a big birthday coming up, and we're making her a scrapbook of memories. And I use some junk journal techniques, although it's scrapbooking more than junk journaling. It's definitely a combination of both because I used a lot of junk journaling techniques. But anyway, these are my pages. We have frames, we have wording, we have handwriting, lots of pictures, memories, and I'm going to show you how I did all these pieces and how I put it together, and you can use it for any kind of scrapbook, junk journal, any creative craft project you're doing. You can use some of these techniques. So my sister's putting the book together, and she asked for individual 8.5 by 11 size sheets of paper. So I wanted to make it cohesive. I wanted each page to go together for my part. And so I wanted to use a lot of the same stuff. So the first thing I did was I got a piece of craft paper. Each page starts with craft paper, and then I ran it through the printer with some coffee dyed paper. Not this page, but I use similar pages, and just to give it some texture. So after I gave my pages all some texture, I went and found a bunch of neutral colored things. I didn't want color in this because the pictures will have color. There's some old sheet music with some lovely old tape. I'm going to use that. Some old dictionary pages. And then lots of scraps, a book page. Oh, I love that writing. And this is a cardboard box that I separated. I have an easy way to do that. I'll link to that. It just has a nice texture, and it has lines on it from where they put the glue on. Any little scraps. This, I like to make faux leather, and these are pieces of my faux leather, also made from cardboard, pieces of a cardboard box, and I'll put a link to that because that's a fun project. And now I'm just going to start ripping it up. Here's all my potential framing out fodder. I decided to use this. It's an old master board, which is perfect in the right colors. But I didn't think I had enough to do all my pages, so I took copies of it. So I'm not going to rip up the original. I'm just going to rip up the copies so that way I have plenty for all my pages. Now I'm just using a glue stick to attach my frame here, and I'm not paying too much attention about anything. If the piece is too wide, I just let it fall off the side and I cut it, and I'm trying to make a little bit of similarity on one side and the other, but not a mirror image by any chance. I just kind of want to spread out, that's similar to that, so I didn't want them next to each other. But it's pretty much a mindless thing, which is fun. It's fun to just slap it down. It's going to be covered with pictures eventually, not totally covered, but it's not critical. It's just to add some interest to the page. That's the whole point. Here's the frame, all done. I went around and cut the edges, and that's ready to go. Now I've got my pictures. I decided to put a little frame around them just because everything always seems to look nicer when it's backed up. And I'm going to use these little things, these little corner pieces, but I don't trust them. I never trust them to stick. And then so once these are on, I just take a little dab of glue, not a glue stick, but actual glue. and make sure that that stick is stuck. So now I'm just going to do the same thing with all the pictures, and then I will piece it together. Here's my layout. It's about holidays, these 2 pages, and I got this from Canva, C-A-N-V-A, and I just went on, and it's free, and made a header. You can do the outlines and stuff like this, and so that I thought that looked good. And this, where I print, I like to use a grid pattern. I just printed this pattern onto the same craft paper I used for the backgrounds, and it helps me keep my lines straight when I'm writing. So that's what I did there. And I know, if you notice, I overlapped some of these frames. Mostly because I needed the space, but I also like the way they look when they're kind of connected like this. You know, it makes it look on purpose or something. Hey, I hope you liked this video. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. You can subscribe to my channel if you want to see more like this. And thanks for watching. Bye.